If you take customer payments through credit cards, there are multiple choices that integrate with Spire and avoid double entry of payment information. Both Payfirma and Global Payments provide card-not-present processing with securely vaulted card numbers, and Payfacto provides card-present transactions via a payment terminal. In order to start using any of the integrated credit card processes, you first have to open the Spire Server Administration and Integration section. Payfirma and Global Payments are both listed as payment processors, and Payfacto is listed as a payment terminal. You also need to sign up with the credit card integration company of choice prior to the setup, and typically you would only choose one. To get started, for either Global Payments or Payfacto, there is a Setup button where you would enter the supplied API key for authentication, and a label used for company access. For Payfirma, there is a different connection procedure to follow to integrate with Spire. When the setup or connection is complete, you would next use the Manage Access process to determine which of your company databases will integrate with this credit card processor. The next step is to specify which of your credit card payment methods are connected to this integration. From the Edit menu, choose Payment Methods, and from the Record List grid, edit any that has a payment type of credit. Then in the Integration section, enable that this method is connected to the credit card processor previously set up for this company. Note that there is no selection of processors from here. Finally, choose the type of credit card integration that is to be used, either a card-not-present processor or a card-present external terminal. When integrating with either Payfirma or Global Payments, you likely will want to save customer credit cards for use, rather than entering this anew for every transaction. When editing a customer, the Credit Cards tab is the place to do this. Credit card information is not stored in the Spire data, but instead in a securely vaulted off-site location. When you add a new card, you only need to enter the credit card number, expiry, and CVV. The billing address is linked from the customer. If multiple credit cards are available for this customer, Payfirma supports setting one as the default card to use. Saving this will validate the information and vault it within the processor's site. You may need to make changes to vaulted card information. If the customer address changes, you can sync the customer details with the cards. You can also edit a card to update the expiry date if a new card with a later date becomes available. Global Payments integration requires re-entering the card number if anything else on this screen is updated. Note that only the last 4 digits are stored. When creating a payment for an integrated credit card, whether it is for a sales order, deposit or invoice, point-of-sale transaction, or an accounts receivable payment, the steps are generally the same. When payment entry is initiated, the credit card payment screen is opened. The card information is found here, where a default customer card would be loaded if one was set. Otherwise, you can either enter new card information to validate, for one-time use or to save with the customer, or select from the list of existing customer cards. You may need to edit the payment amount, if it will not be for the full amount of the order or invoice. Then you can continue with generating and authorizing the payment, which will indicate success or failure, and save a transaction ID with the payment. On sales orders, you can also use a credit authorizations procedure for pre-authorizing a payment amount. Use the Authorize button to select the integrated credit card, which brings up the usual credit card payment screen. Enter or select the credit card, and determine the amount to pre-authorize. Confirming this will generate a pre-authorization transaction, but not yet charge the credit card. This is listed on the credit authorization screen. If you want to charge the card before invoicing, select the transaction and click the Capture button, which will turn this pre-authorization into a deposit on the order. Otherwise, when you create the invoice, a screen will appear to prompt you to capture. If you integrate with Payfacto for card-present transactions, there are some extra steps needed for setup. In addition to payment methods with an external terminal type, you must also specify a base currency value in company settings, even if multi-currency is not enabled, and create tills and terminals to associate with physical scanning devices. From the Sales menu, choose Tills to maintain the list of places where credit cards can be scanned. Each till only requires a unique identifying code, a description to assist with selection and use, and optionally a location code if these are enabled and configured in company settings for separate locations and accounting. If you have multiple tills, you might choose to set a default sales till from the Change Location screen on the File menu. You also need to specify the physical device information from the Sales menu and the Payment Terminal list. For each terminal in use, you need to assign a unique code that Spire can refer to, along with all the other device information provided from Payfacto, including the language used and payment currency code. You would also want to associate the till from where the terminal will be used. When creating a payment for an integrated credit card present, either from a point-of-sale transaction or sales order, and the credit card is selected, the terminal payment screen will appear with just the payment amount to determine. Accepting this amount will give you a confirmation to send this payment opportunity to the connected terminal from your till. The rest of the credit card information will be determined from the terminal device. This will create either a credit card charge or a pre-authorization amount to the credit card, which can later on be captured. On a regular basis, perhaps daily, you will want to print the cash-out report for each of your tills to reconcile the credit card receipts to what has been posted in Spire. If you need to process a refund back to the credit card, often due to a sales return, but also perhaps for a credit on account, this can also be done. From a reversed sales invoice, you can post the credit note with a refund that goes back to the credit card, using the same card selection process as for payments. This will require identifying and choosing the payment transaction to reverse. For payments processed through accounts receivable, you might want to unlink the payment from the invoice, and then use the void process to create the refund. This will automatically use the original credit card without requiring card selection and indicate if the reversal completed successfully. If you would like more information about Spire Accounting, access the link in the description below to our homepage. Read the online manual help for additional assistance. Watch more videos from this playlist, and subscribe to the Spire YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.